So today we will be learning about cohesion. Okay, cohesion and coupling. What are cohesion and what are coupling? So basically, students, screen visible.
Yes, madam.
Okay. So cohesion and coupling. So we have discussed that the effective problem decomposition is an important characteristic of a good design, and good module decomposition is indicated through high cohesion of the individual module. So that means cohesion is a measure of functional strength of a module. Okay. So cohesive module performs a single task, whereas coupling between two modules is a measure of the degree of the interdependence or interaction between two modules. Okay. So see here, a module is having high cohesion and low coupling, that is functionally independent of other modules. So a functionally independent module has minimal interaction with other modules. So let's just see. So two modules are said to be highly coupled, okay, in either of the following two situations if arises. Okay. First one, if the function calls between two modules involve passing large chunks of shared data, the module are tightly coupled. And if the interaction occurred through some shared data, then also we can say that they are highly coupled. Okay. So let's see with one example. Okay. So see here, as we know that cohesion is the functional strength of a module, and coupling between two modules is the degree of interaction or independence between the two modules. Okay. So see here, whenever cohesion means what? Suppose, let's just, because most of the students gets confused in this topic, so that's why let's just analyze with simple examples. What is cohesion? Suppose there are two modules. This is module M1, okay, and this is module M2. These are two modules, okay, and there it is enclosed within a module, okay, within a module, okay. So see here, the degree, and suppose there is another module, suppose A, okay, and modules A1 and A2. These are two different modules. Suppose many more modules are also there. Suppose there is another module, module B. Okay. Now, what is cohesion? Cohesion means the measure of functional strength of a module. That is, whenever you are interacting with the same module, that is, there is a module M and it is having two modules M1 and M2. And whenever the relation we are checking between M1 and M2, that is in the same module, then it is called cohesion. Okay. And what is coupling? Coupling is basically whenever you are checking the degree between different module. That is, if you are checking the interaction with module A1 and M1, then it is called coupling. Okay. Then it is called coupling. So what is cohesion? Cohesion means you are in the same module. If you take one example, that is, suppose you are having, all these are colonies. Okay. Suppose colonies, not colonies. Suppose this is your home, and in your home you are having two members. Okay. And this is your neighbor's home. Okay. That family is containing, suppose again two members. So what is cohesion? Cohesion is the interaction between your family members. Okay. Whereas coupling is the interaction between you and the neighbor's family members. Like if you in your family members, suppose many more modules are there. So we are considering two modules only. So you and your brother, okay? So suppose your name is M1 and your brother's name is M2, okay? And suppose in your neighbor's home, that is the one who is staying in the next flat of yours, that person, that family is having two children, okay? A1 is the sister and A1 is the brother and sister and A2 is the brother, okay? So the interaction between yourself and your brother is called as cohesion, whereas the interaction between yourself and the sister of your neighbor, that is the neighbor's family, the sister, is called coupling, okay? So that's why whenever we are considering, we should have high cohesion should be high and coupling should be low. How? Because whenever the interaction between you and your brother should be more, because you both are siblings, okay? So that's why your interaction will be more as compared to the neighbor's sister, because they are not coming in your blood relation. So you can say that there should be some interaction or there should be some relation between you and the neighbor's family, but that relationship should be maintained, that is low interaction should be there. So remember one thing, whenever we are talking about cohesion, because cohesion and coupling are mostly asked questions in exam, often if you are giving interview and if you are saying that I know software engineering, because software engineering you have seen that it is a whole industry approach. So if you are saying that software engineering you know, then they generally ask this kind of questions. They ask first from life cycle models, they may ask that which life cycle model is best appropriate in which situation, and after that they may ask what is cohesion, what are the different types of cohesion, what is coupling, what are the different types of coupling, why do we use cohesion, what will be the features of cohesion. These questions generally they ask, okay? And after that there is another module, that is testing. From testing they used to ask a lot of questions, so we will be discussing testing later, but as of now understand that cohesion should be high and coupling should be low in a particular module. That means interaction between your family members should be high and interaction between other neighbors family members should be low. This is the main procedure which you need to follow, okay? So there are many types of cohesion. So students, is it clear how cohesion is working? Is it clear? So if two modules either do not interact with each other at all, or at best interact by passing no data or only a few primitive data items, then they are said to have low coupling. Okay. So see here, now there are different types of cohesion. So just see. So what is functional independence? Let's just understand. Functional independence means they are functionally is not dependent on each other. Okay, so by the term functional independence, we generally mean that a module perform a single task and needs to do very little interaction with other modules. Okay, so a module is highly cohesive and also has low coupling with other modules is the one said to be functionally independent of other modules. So that's why, as I said, that you need to maintain high cohesion and low coupling, then only we can say that this module is functionally independent of other modules. So functional independence is a key to any good design, primarily due to advantages it offers. So first advantage is like, error isolation. Functional independence reduces error propagation. So whenever an error exists in a module, functional independence reduces the chances of the error propagating to the other modules. So the reason behind this is that if a module is functionally independent, its interaction with other modules is low. Therefore, an error existing in the module is very unlikely to affect the functioning of other modules. So once a failure is detected, error isolation makes it very easy to locate the error. On the other hand, when a module is not functionally independent, once a failure is detected in the functionality, provided by the module, the error can be potentially in any stage in any of the large number of modules and propagated to the functioning of the module. Okay. So another one is scope of reuse is of modules is possible. How? Because we know that reuse of a module for the development of other applications becomes easier, and the reasons for this is a functionally independent module performs some well-defined and precise tasks, and the interfaces of the module with other modules are very few and simple. So that's why a functional independent module can therefore be easily taken out and reused in a different program. So if a module interacts with several other modules, or the functions of a module perform very different tasks, then it would be difficult to reuse it. This is especially if the module access the data or code internal to the other modules. So these are the things functional independence. So see here, classification of cohesiveness. Achha, one more thing, that is understandability is also there in case of functional independence. That is, when a module are functionally independent, complexity of the design is greatly reduced. So this is because of the fact that different modules can be understood in isolation, since the modules are independent to each other. Okay. So besides all this, there are many other advantages of a modular design as well. So next is we will be discussing about the classification of cohesiveness. So there are different types of cohesion which you need to follow. So as we see, as we have discussed, that cohesion should be high and coupling should be low. So again, cohesion is divided into some types. Okay. So see here, these are the different types of cohesion. Here, coincident. So first one is functional, next is sequential, next is communicational, then procedural, then temporal, then logical, and last one is the coincidental. So these are the question, and you need to follow the degree. That is, first is functional cohesion, then sequential. So the the cohesion which is having high impact is functional cohesion, then sequential, then communicational, then procedural, then temporal, then logical, then coincidental. So you need to remember this sequence. Okay, you need to remember the sequence, because in MCQ, whenever if you are giving MCQ test, then they may ask that what will be they may ask arrange the modules, or arrange the different types of cohesion according to their impact. Okay, so you need to arrange it. So they may give you 4 options, like they may give what functional, communicational, then sequential, then process. So you need to arrange it accordingly. So we will be discussing about it. So we know that cohesiveness of a module is the degree to which the different functions of the module cooperate to work towards a single objective. Okay. So whenever we are working towards a single objective, we generally use cohesion. Okay. Now see here, the different modules of a design can possess different degrees of freedom. So the different classes of cohesion that module can possess are cohesive, are basically the cohesiveness which increases from coincidental to functional cohesion. So see here, first understand what is coincidental. Sorry, what is first? Let's just see. Okay, as it is starting from below. So let's just discuss first coincidental. What is coincidental? So coincidental, okay. What is coincidental? So basically coincidental module is actually, or coincidental cohesion is basically, it performs a set of tasks that related to each other very loosely. Okay. So here they are very loosely arranged. That means a module is said to have coincidental cohesion if it performs a set of tasks that relate to each other. Yes, we can say that the module can contain random collection of functions. Okay. So it is likely, so like that the function have been placed in the module out of collection of functions. So it is likely, so just see here. Okay, so basically, if you see, a module performs a set of tasks which relate to each other very loosely, if at all. So here, as you can see that coincidental cohesion is the last one. So that's why it is very loosely arranged. Okay. So you need to remember or first is functional cohesion. You need to remember functional cohesion. F, then S, that is sequential. Okay, this order you need to remember. Just a second, students. Sequential, then communicational, okay, then procedural, then temporal, then logical, then coincidental. Coincidental. So this one is the last one, coincidental. So how you will remember? Just remember that FSC, PTLC. FSC, PTLC. If you remember this, then you can understand the order, because this is very important. Ordering is very important because in MCQ, most of the times teacher, the question setter asks about the ordering. They may give you the order and they will be asking you which one is the correct order. Okay, and that may be in haphazard, like they may give you F, then they may skip S and C. After that they may give P, then T, then they may skip L, then coincidental. So you need to remember that what is FSC, PTL. What? Okay, FSC, PTL, and last one is communicational. F is for functional, S for sequential, C for communicational, P for procedural, T for temporal, L for logical, and last one coincidental. Okay, and remember coincidental is very loosely arranged. Okay, next is, suppose if we discuss about functional cohesion. Okay, functional cohesion. So that if you see what is functional cohesion, just discuss. That means it is very highly coupled. Okay, sorry, highly, it is having high cohesion degree, and function means it is perform. Functional cohesion means it is performing some kind of function. From the name you can understand that it is performing some kind of functions. So if different functions of the module cooperate to complete a single task, then we call it as a functional cohesion. That means there are different modules in your system, and they are actually, suppose there is a module, there is a module, there is a module. These are the modules. Like if you are saying that functionally they are similar, okay, but they are different. Like if you are having a module like add, okay, whenever you are designing a software, there can be a module that is add. In that add module you can add username, user ID, many things you can add. And also there can be another module which is called edit. Okay, edit is what? You can edit anything. If you have added something and if you have seen that after adding you have committed some kind of mistake, then you can edit. So all these two commands are what? Manipulating commands. That means using these commands you can add or add, you can insert something. So these are similar type of commands, but they are functionally different, because adding is different. More whenever you are doing addition, then the code will be different, whereas whenever you will be doing edit, the code will be different. So in both the cases the codes are different, functionalities are also different, but also they are having some similar functions. So that's why we are keeping these modules into a single module. That is, they are similar yet they are different. Okay, so that's why it is called functional cohesion. Okay, that means they are actually a module is said to be functional cohesion if different functions of the module cooperate to complete a single task. So see here, these are having different functions, but they are cooperating together to do a single task. That is, they are cooperating to insert anything by the user. Okay, so if the user wants to insert something, the user can add also, the user can edit also. Okay, so that's why this is a very mm, tightly it's a very important question. That's this is called functional question. Functional question is clear to everyone? Hello.
Yes, madam.
ওকে, আচ্ছা তোমরা ডেটাবেস পড়েছো? ডেটাবেস ম্যানেজমেন্ট
Data
সিস্টেম তোমাদের
structure.
হয়ে গেছে?
No, 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 no.
ডেটা
No,
স্ট্রাকচার,
next semester.
ডেটা
Next semester.
database. Whenever you will be learning database, then you will be knowing that there are different types of commands in database. Database means actually you are storing the data. Okay, so whenever you will be learning the database management system, you will be learning different types of commands are there. That is DML command, that is data manipulation command. Data manipulation means whenever you are inserting or deleting or editing something, that becomes data manipulation, means you are manipulating with the data. So that's why it is called data manipulation language. Another language can be there, that is DDL, that is data definition language. Okay, which is used to create, if you want to create something, if you want to select something, then all those things are coming under DDL. So that's why, see, this is whenever we are doing functional, I have whatever example I have taken, it is actually a data manipulation command. Okay, we are doing the data manipulation operation, but they add and edit, these two operations are different. So that's why it is called functional cohesion. Okay, next we have discussed coincidental cohesion and also functional cohesion. Next we will be discussing about the next type of cohesion, that is logical cohesion. Okay, logical cohesion. So let's just see. Okay, logical cohesion. Before logical cohesion, I think it will be sequential cohesion. Sequential cohesion. Yes, sequential cohesion. So sequential cohesion. Now, what is sequential cohesion? Sequential means it is following some kind of sequence. That is, after one, suppose you are having sequence, S is for sequential. So sequence means it is following a sequence. That means after one module, you can do the two modules, because these two modules are dependent. That is, you can only do the two module if you have completed module one. That is, suppose if you are taking this example, add and edit, these two are modules. Okay, so after addition, suppose if you are giving the user the authorization to add his name, okay, or user ID. Okay, suppose the user, if you are designing any software, in the first page it is coming that whenever you are registering into any kind of website, you have seen that login. Okay, the login page is coming. Okay, now in the login page, if you have registered earlier, then you need to enter the user ID and password. And if you have not registered, then there is another option, that is for signing. Okay, so that is for new registration. Okay, so if you are a new user, then you can register in that link and you can enter your details. So see here, all these two modules are dependent, because if you have not registered, then you cannot log in. Okay, after only registration you can log in. So that's why you can see that this is an example of sequential cohesion. That means whenever you are clicking on that page, the page is asking you that user ID password. Now, if you have already registered, then by using user ID password, you can enter you can enter. Okay, but if you do not have any user ID password, then you need to first do the registration and then you can enter. So similarly, here also, if you are checking after addition, registration is what you are adding something in that website, you are adding your basic details. So in addition, if you see that whenever you are doing addition, you are entering your name, your mail ID, your phone number, everything you are adding. So that's why add module, and next is edit module. So add module is the first one, and next is edit module. So after add module, you can only do the edit module, because if you are not giving the user's details, then you cannot edit any details. First, you need to provide your name, suppose name, your roll number, your phone number, all this you need to enter. Now after that, if you have seen that you have committed any kind of mistake, then you can edit those things. So that's why these are important. So this add and edit module are following a sequence, that is after add you can edit. So that's why this is an example of sequential cohesion. So basically a module is said to possess sequential cohesion if the different functions of the module execute in a sequence. Okay, remember sequential means sequence, functional means function, so they are functionally similar yet different, so that's why it is functional. Next, in sequential they are following a sequence, so that's why it is called sequential. So here in the sequential cohesion, the output from one function is input to the next function in the sequence. So see here, whenever we are doing add, after generating the add, whatever output we are getting, it is actually becoming the input of the next module, that is edit. So that's why it is called it is following a sequence. Without the input, edit function will not occur. Edit function will not work, and only we can work the edit function after generating the output from the add function. Okay, so that's why this is the important thing. So a simple way to determine the cohesiveness of any given module is first what to do. First examine what to do the function of the module. Then try to write a sentence to describe the what you sentence to describe the functionality of the module, then it has sequential or communicational cohesion. And if you need first, next, after, then all these functionalities, then it possesses sequential or temporal cohesion. So this is an example, or this is about sequential cohesion. Okay, so see here, first sort, then search, then display. Okay, so we know that whenever we are doing, so elements of a module forms different parts of a sequence. Output from one element of the sequence is the input to the next. So see here, whenever we are doing, you have done in data structure, you have learned that sorting, searching you have done. So whenever we are using any kind of sort, like merge sort, or suppose binary sort, sorry, bubble sort. Okay, so in that, you first you are sorting those elements. Okay, or in case of linear search or binary search, first the elements are sorted, then you are searching those elements, and then you are displaying those elements. So without sorting you cannot search, and without searching you cannot display. So in this way the sequence is following. So this is about sequential cohesion. Okay, sequential cohesion. Okay, next is communicational cohesion. Okay, communicational cohesion. So see here, communicational, what is communicational cohesion? So now here the all the modules are communicating with each other, so that's why it is called communicational cohesion. So see here, these are the two modules, and add and edit, yet they are performing different tasks in a in a overall module, but they are having they are actually uh, they are actually communicating with each other. Okay, so that's why it is an example of communicational module. Okay, so communicational cohesion. So a module is said to be communicational cohesion if all functions of the module referred or update the same data structure. Okay, so that's why to access and manipulate data stored in an array will with okay. So the set of functions defined on an array or stack is an example of communicational cohesion. So in communicational cohesion, the modules are communicating with each other. So that's why it is called communication. So understand this, that functional means it is doing some kind of functions. Sequential means it is following a sequence. Communicational means it is communicating. Okay, so FSC we have done. PTL, coincidental, we have discussed, and PTL. PTL means what? For P means procedural. So what is procedural? Understand that just a second. Students, is there any FSC, PTL? temporal and logical in the next class. So students, one thing I would like to say is I have given you the assignment, and you have seen that in MS Team also I have given an MCQ test. All of you have submitted. Is there anyone who is remaining? Students, you need to complete the MCQ test within today, and also you need to submit the CA2 and PCA1, these two assignments in the Google Drive as well as MS Team. I have already given you. Hello, students, am I audible? Hello? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Submit all these assignments and units. Okay, students?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
thank you students for attending today's class. We will again meet in our next class, that is from 1 p.m. and continue this. So now you can leave.